A WWE superstar has requested their release. I am extremely disappointed by this news, but I'm going to tell you guys what I think in just a moment, who it is, what's going to happen, what to expect, all of that good stuff. Also, the Briscoes are offering an open challenge at GCW at the Hammerstein Ballroom. Will FTR show up and accept that challenge? Also, AEW stars respond to WWE's self-mutilation comments about them on the Toronto Star. If you guys want more news videos like this, don't forget to click that subscribe button and ring the bell. All right, guys, so there is a belief that the Briscoes could be taking on FTR at GCW's Hammerstein Ballroom show, The World. Now, of course, nobody knows anything for sure just yet. There's nothing that's been announced, but the Briscoes are offering an open challenge, and because this is supposed to be a very massive event for GCW and Game Changer Wrestling, there is a belief that FTR could very well accept this open challenge and give us that dream match between the Briscoes and FTR. Now, this is possible because AEW does allow their contracted wrestlers to compete in other places with approval. And based on the business that AEW has done with GCW before, guys like Jon Moxley showing up there and various other talent, Ruby Soho is also going to be at that show. I do believe that AEW very well could approve FTR competing there. Now, obviously, if we get this match, my belief is that FTR would, in fact, win the GCW Tag Team Championship belts. I do see Briscoes eventually finding their way to AEW Dynamite. Whether or not Tony Khan admits it, we've been talking about this on the channel. He openly spoke about them, saying that nothing was official. But I do believe it is inevitable. At some point, the Briscoes will find their ways into AEW, and this could be the path to make that happen. Also, guys, we are going to talk about the self-mutilation comments from WWE. We have seen some responses from people. I think this is unbelievable. Tay Conti, posted a photo on Twitter of her all bloodied up, throwing up the middle finger. Then we also have Anna Jay, who responded with photos of her and Tay Conti all bloodied up as well. And then Allie, the bunny, has also responded to the stuff with a photo of her bleeding like crazy. Now, here's the thing. Because I see a lot of people are 50-50 on WWE's decision to discuss this and address this. And, you know, when I really look at that statement that WWE made, WWE had done... I don't even really want to consider it a shot. The more and more that I look at it, I don't think WWE is really taking a shot at AEW. I think they are addressing how they are different businesses. And I see a lot of people are offended by this, and I don't understand why. I don't understand why you would be upset that WWE talks about their competitor this way. I mean, just 2 weeks ago, CM Punk is on AEW television talking about WWE doing releases and all this stuff, and whatever. It is what it is. If you guys, you can't be just one way. And I think that's the thing here is like there's a lot of people who feel one way and that way only. WWE talking about AEW talking about WWE. It's going to happen. They're alternatives, they're competition. They're both in the wrestling space. WWE did it in a more professional tone, I think. But also at the same time, too, as I said before, I just think it's stupid that I think both of them should really just keep their mouth shut until their product is perfect, because I don't think either product is perfect. There is no such thing as perfection in that regard. So WWE addressing this, and then you got Tay Conti, and look, this is social media at its best. Obviously, they have this huge fan base that continues to grow. So all of these stars that are responding to it, it totally makes sense on their point of view. I do find it interesting that WWE has not said anything else about AEW recently. I also find it funny that these comments never come from AEW or WWE on their social media. It always comes through like some third-party thing. So very, very interesting stuff. But WWE has definitely sparked something there, because these people in AEW are taking notice and they are responding. I find it interesting. We'll see what happens going forward. All right, guys, and for our final story of the day, you may have missed this, but I uploaded a video on Angle Plays. This is the channel where I bring WWE 2K22 and AEW video game coverage. The WWE 2K22 cover was leaked. I also posted this on Angle Plays with all the information on the pre-order bonus. So if you guys want that, go ahead and check out the link in the description and subscribe. We're almost at 1,000 subscribers, so I'd greatly appreciate it. All right, guys, and for our final story of the day, unfortunately, a WWE superstar has publicly gone live on Twitter and requested their release. We are, in fact, talking about Mustafa Ali. Guys, I'm going to read this tweet just because it just sucks, honestly, in my opinion. But Mustafa Ali posted a video saying, I have a message that is much bigger than my dreams in pro wrestling. Despite my best efforts, I will not be able to deliver this message while working with WWE. Therefore, I am requesting my release from WWE. And I don't know if this means Mustafa Ali is trying to leave wrestling. Based on that first statement, I have a message that is much bigger than my dreams in pro wrestling. To me, it sounds like he could very well be retiring from wrestling and being done with it. Now, with that being said, Mustafa Ali was actually my favorite wrestler in WWE. Specifically, I always go back to before Kofi Mania started, before all that, I thought Mustafa Ali should have been the top guy. They were very, very close to making that happen. They did not make that happen. And I don't know, this to me doesn't sound like he's like trying to request leaving WWE so he can go to AEW or Impact. Because again, I have a message that is much bigger than my dreams in pro wrestling. Now, for those who don't know, Mustafa Ali was a police officer. He did a lot of great things outside of wrestling, then made it in wrestling. A lot of people just considered him one of the good guys. So it's really, really interesting, in my opinion, to see that he's requested his release. And honestly, nobody really knows what the plans are. I hope we do get some more clarification. And if this is something that is bigger than wrestling, right? Maybe WWE has no issue responding to this release request. I also think it's very interesting that he chose to go public on Twitter too, because a lot of times what people are saying is like, with the Toni Storm situation, she requested her release, and when she requested her release, they didn't have any issue granting it because they've been doing budget cuts, right? So this doesn't sound like it's a bad story per se, but I guess we'll see as more information comes out. I do think more information will come out, and then as that information comes out, we'll kind of learn more. But for now, it just sounds like Mustafa Ali sounds like he's done with wrestling. If he's not, I mean, look, I've said this before. He's great. He was one of my favorite wrestlers. Impact, AEW, New Japan Pro Wrestling. Any of these companies would benefit from having him. And I'm not saying that as a mid-card guy. I'm not saying that as a guy that's wrestling secondary matches. I'm saying like main event. This guy is main event worthy. His promos are incredible. There's a lot of people who haven't even been exposed. He has crafted his own promos that never got to air on TV because they might have been too controversial. WWE has said in the past that they were controversial, so they couldn't do it despite the fact that they wanted to, reportedly. So just keep in mind, like, if you haven't seen those promos that haven't aired, this guy is a masterpiece at what he does. So I want to know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Mustafa Ali has requested his release. FTR possibly going to GCW. I mean, lots of great news. Make sure you guys subscribe for more. Thank you so much for watching. Peace.